Welcome to this video that is part of a series of videos that I'm doing about this aquarium. It has been 6 months since I started this project. Most of the bamboo is tall enough. I did take out some bamboo that wasn't growing, and honestly there was too much bamboo anyway. I may end up taking a few more out that don't appear to be growing fast enough, and I will do that during the process of taking all this down and replanting them because I've changed my mind. I decided I do not like the cheap topsoil I got as a substrate. I got it as a cheap option because it's a big tank and aquarium plant substrate is really expensive, especially to fill a big tank. And I figured that since Lucky Bamboo can grow in just some water and rocks, that just plain dirt would be fine for it. And it has been growing well in it, but it's just way too ugly. When I pour water into the tank, it just so easily lifts up and clouds the water heavily, and it settles back down on top of the rocks, and I want the rocks to be on top of the dirt. And because it has been sitting for 6 months, bugs have gotten into the water, and now there's a bunch of worms, which I want to get out, and I think I can only do that by removing everything. I don't know if the worms came in the dirt or if they are from bugs getting in the water. I don't know which, but there's a lot of worms in there. I am going to save the rocks. I still want rocks in there. So what I'm going to do is scoop all of that out into a strainer that's in a bucket and then rinse the rocks that are in the strainer to get all the dirt away. And that means taking out all the bamboo, which is too bad because they are established, but hopefully they can reestablish, and I'll trim their roots again to help with that. My other hope is that I got enough new substrate for at least going where the bamboo is going to go, and then the rest of the space I will fill with rocks. Because I did end up getting aquarium substrate, it was super expensive, and they say that the amount of substrate you should get is 1 pound per gallon, and this is a 40 gallon, so I would need 40 pounds of it. But I want to see if I can get away with just 20 pounds of it. I recently got the new substrate, so I'm going to go ahead and get this process started of taking it down and resetting it up. So the only strainer I have that is strong enough to hold rocks and get rid of the dirt is this bike basket I have. I used it for rinsing the rocks before putting them in the tank, and now I will use it to separate the rocks from the dirt. So yeah, glad I have this. Only problem is my buckets aren't big enough. Okay, so it's actually the next day, and I had to stop at that point yesterday because I had other stuff to do. I rinsed the rocks I took out so far, so now hopefully I have the time to take it all out. And look at this worm activity, all these worm paths you can see. Hopefully this process does get rid of all the worms. Alright, I found out that the bike basket strainer isn't really working because this topsoil is more so wood, I've noticed, than actual dirt, and the wood chips just aren't going through the holes. So I think the only thing I can do is use the hose to spray off as much dirt as I can and then put the rocks in a bucket of water and swoosh them around to separate the dirt pieces from the rocks, and then put those rocks in the rock bucket. It's definitely a longer process than I thought it would be, but it's okay. I'm having fun playing in the dirt, I guess. It's all about the mindset. So I've got a lot more rocks to go. I had to leave again and it's nighttime now, but I'm gonna keep going because I'm gonna get to the fun part soon of setting it back up. So the next thing I'm doing is working on getting the water stains off the glass. After that, I'm just gonna keep adding water and taking it out till it's all clear of dirt. Okay, well that's done, so now the fun can begin. I will now put in the rocks and the new expensive aquarium substrate that I probably don't have enough of, and then replant the bamboo, which I have already rinsed off. And I think I will trim the roots again, which hopefully will help it to reestablish. Alright, so that's all the tallest ones, and that is what is left. These two front ones aren't quite tall enough, but I put them in there anyway, because they're getting there. And the very center one also isn't quite tall enough yet, but it could still be a while before I get fish, so maybe they will grow tall enough by then. Or I just won't fill the tank up all the way. So now I'm going to add the rest of the rocks. They're not the prettiest rocks, but they were cheap. I feel like I need a background on this tank. To finish for today, I am going to add enough water for the bamboo.